Welcome to my tarot card reading for November 2017, Capricorn, and this is Manu Tarot. Capricorn, let's start immediately with the reading. We have here, I'm gonna go this way. We have here the Nine of Cups, the Four of Cups, Moon Pisces, house number 12, Four of Cups, Neptune Cancer, Neptune relationship with Pisces, house number 12, and then we have Cancer, house number 4. But notice that we have here two cups, and then down here we have the Seven of Cups, the Five of Staff, and we have the Four of Swords. We have three cups. It's going to be a very intense, a very emotional month, okay, loaded with feelings and emotions. There's going to be a struggle within you, okay, it's struggle at an emotional level. We have to look at here that we have water, you see, water, fire, and we have air, the mind, actions, and the feelings and emotions. This is talking about reality. This is about facing reality. This is about you standing right in front of circumstances that are just unfolding right before your eyes. Okay? It's gonna be, it could be an awakening, you could say it like that. And you start seeing things for what they really are. It sounds like it's gonna be a very strong, a very heavy struggle for you. We have here Neptune, the mind, into a psychological perspective. So what we're talking about, and then we have here the mind, swords. So what we're talking about here, let's go straight to the point, we might be talking about depression here. If you suffer a depression, it might mean that you might have a relapse, okay? It could mean that the medication, for some reason, they will stop working, and you might see that your depression start popping again. Also, don't stop your medications, okay, during this month, because there's going to be a relapse. For what I'm seeing here, there might be a relapse if there is a history of depression, okay? If there's no history, the tarot cards, what they're saying is that you might end up with depression. What we have here is a struggle, because what we have here is action. You're thinking, analyzing what you should do. But what we have here is what is called in psychology ego dystonic. You have an ego dystonic situation here. You have incongruent affect. Incongruent affect, it means that what you want to do, what your emotions are pushing you into or towards, is having or presenting a conflict with your moral principles, with what you think in a rational way. And that's the same thing as ego dystonic. There's a conflict, an internal conflict, okay? And that's why I'm talking about depression, because this card means rest. When you are hospitalized, for me, forced vacation, and because we have the mind here, emotions, mind, struggle here, and facing reality, and then we have this withdrawal from your side. You are withdrawing, you are isolating, you might literally go to bed and curl up. Those are signs of depression. Lethargy might be also present here. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind, that there is a possibility of suffering depression. Mental health problems. Okay, let me go first to here, because we have Iku here. Iku is technically the Green Reaper. So I'm concerned because obviously we have this insinuation that I made here, and then we have Chango and the moon And the moon, Chang'o, thinking, analyzing mental health problems, most likely depression. And these two are talking about finding to end your pain. And this one is about when Chang'o died and then he was resurrected into the spiritual world. So if you know how to link between lines, you know what is my insinuation here. Change of life. So we have to take that on consideration because it is aspected in the reading. Okay? Now I'm going to switch. Now, we also have to consider Moon and Neptune. Okay? House number 12. So we talk about dreams. We could see this as a dream. So it sounds like you're going to receive a message that might be disturbing. So in other words, you might have a nightmare, but this nightmare has a message from the spiritual world. Okay? So keep that in mind. You might have that communication. This is going to be a very, very spiritual month, November, especially at the beginning of the year, of the month, November 1st and 2nd. And so keep that in mind. Okay? You might have contact with the spiritual world. Use that energy to your advantage. For example, in Mexico, people they make offerings to their dead loved ones, to all their ancestors, not only the recently that died. That's what I mean by ancestors. And the ancestor, it could be your whole family tree going back centuries. Okay, so use that energy that is opening to tap into that spiritual world and ask them to help you during this month. Okay? Now, the other part that I want to address is because we have Neptune, house number 12, escapism, trying to escape reality. And therefore, I have to also talk about drugs, use of drugs. So you might be tempted of using drugs. The problem is that you might have an overdose, change of life, but most likely it could also mean that you go out in a trip and you stay on that trip, meaning that you will suffer, or you might suffer, a mental problem. You might go crazy, in other words. Okay? So these are the warnings and advice for you for Capricorn, November 2017. Until the next one.